SAfm, South Africa's news and information leader.
Thank you, Nancy. Coming up, 1 in 4 Joburg motorists has paid a bribe and Sudanese aircraft carry out air raids in South Sudan. Good afternoon. 1 in 4 motorists in Johannesburg has paid a bribe. That's according to a report released by Corruption Watch in Johannesburg today. The 70-page report was compiled from interviewing motorists and taxi drivers about their experience of being asked for a bribe by Johannesburg Metro Police Department officers. Corruption Watch Executive Director David Lewis says an overwhelming number of JMPD officers are engaged in bribery on the roads.
The scale of the problem is massive. The second finding, and related to that, is the absolute refusal and failure of the authorities to recognize the scale of the problem. The scale of the problem is that we say 150,000, they say about 150. So we don't have here a sort of methodological, statistical problem. We have, in our view, complete denialism on the part of the traffic authorities about the scale of the problem.
7 police officers accused of murdering and assaulting Vicksburg protester Andreas Tatane have pleaded not guilty. The other officer, Katnathan Munusami, has turned state witness. The prosecution has withdrawn charges against him. The state says the accused acted unlawfully by assaulting the deceased with batons and also firing rubber bullets. The officers have denied they acted unlawfully. The trial continues. The National Treasury has applied to intervene in the Gauteng e-toll case to be heard by the High Court in Pretoria this week. Treasury says in a statement there would be serious negative implications for future financing of roads and investment in public transport were SANRAL to be interdicted from implementing the toll collection system. The Treasury has applied for leave to intervene in the application to be heard by the court tomorrow. The application has been brought by the opposition to Urban Tolling Alliance, the SA Vehicle Renting and Leasing Association, the Quad Para Association of SA, and the SA National Consumer Union. They want to stop the levying and collection of tolls on certain roads in Gauteng from going ahead on April 30th. Construction at the multi-billion rand Medupi power station at Lephalale in Limpopo is continuing despite the absence of over 900 employees who have been locked out of the construction site. The workers allege they are being given rotten food. The workers employed by Murray and Roberts Construction Company say they've been complaining to management and nothing has been done to deal with the problem. They want management to give them a temporary food allowance. SABC's reporter Michael Maringa has more.
It is business as usual here at Medupi Power Station. A sizable number of employees contracted to Murray and Roberts have been knocked out of Shaft 7 after complaining to the management about rotten food that they are given on a daily basis. Union representatives say other shafts are also affected. They allege that thousands of employees are affected by the situation. The construction of the power station has been marred by disruption since the beginning of the construction 2 years ago. The Murray and Roberts and Power Utility are yet to comment. It's Mike Maringa for SABC News, Medupi Power Station at Lephalale.
The 3rd annual Gender Justice and Local Government Summit has kicked off at Kopanong Hotel, south of Johannesburg. The event, hosted by non-governmental organization Gender Links, is being attended by representatives from 10 SADC countries. Carmen Rabi reports from the summit.
The Zimbabwean Minister for Local Government, Urban and Rural Development, Ignatius Chombo, says women should not be defined by their traditional roles. Minister of Women, Children and Persons with Disabilities, Lulu Pingwana, also mentioned the recent case of the girl who had been gang raped, filmed and distributed as an extreme example of the horrors of gender-based violence. Carmen Rabi, SABC News, Johannesburg.
In other parts of the continent, Sudanese aircraft have carried out air raids in South Sudan near the town of Bentu. A South Sudanese official has described the attack as a serious escalation in tensions between the two countries and a clear provocation. A journalist in the town, Hannah McNish, told the BBC what she saw.
This morning we were driving to the army barracks. We crossed a bridge and all of a sudden we were hearing anti-aircraft fire. And we jumped out of the car and we saw one plane, what South Sudan is calling a fighter jet. One of the bombs, a missile hit, and then we saw a huge plume of grey smoke rising in the other direction, and it was in the Rip Corner market. There were stalls on fire. We saw a little boy that had been burnt to death, and we were told that 3 people were injured there.
Recapping the top story, according to a report released by Corruption Watch, 1 in 4 motorists in Johannesburg has paid a bribe.